The divine multiversal laws.
Wanda, what do you know about the multiverse?
How much do we know about the divine multiversal laws today? Prashant Trivedi, PT, the most knowledgeable guru, explains.
You are inside the multiverse. You are inside that big thing. Yeah, so if you are inside something, then what is its basis and what are its laws? That governs everything for you.
Multiverse is a concept about which we know frighteningly little.
No one thinks about these natural laws at all. Like they have no consciousness, awareness of these.
Majority of the masses don't even think in terms of that there are universal laws. Okay, but fact is there are. Okay, once you are inside a construct, that construct will have its laws. There is no going past that. That's a fact. Okay, that these laws exist and these laws are there.
Where can one find these multiversal laws?
Where do you find those laws?
How's your Sanskrit? Vedic, classical Sanskrit.
Where are those laws? Where will you find that? Okay, that's where the Vedic knowledge comes in. It tells you those laws starting from your body itself. Like you have a physical body now, so how are you going to deal with it? What are you going to do with it? How are you going to use it? Okay, so that thing is the very first thing.
Man-made laws or the universal laws. There are two kinds of laws.
Yes.
Okay, there are laws of the universe. This universe, this construct you are inside, it has its laws, right? So do you want to follow these laws, the ones which are, or what you are in, or do you want to follow the laws of the country or man-made laws of here? These man-made laws can change from one second to another, but the multiversal laws are permanent. They've always been there, and they will always be there. And I mean, multiversal laws are quite easy to. Yeah, they're not very complicated. They're not like, the law books of this world, which take. I mean, you can fill libraries and libraries with them. They'll still not be. That the books are so many. Do you know what I'm saying? What?
Yeah,
they're all thousands of pages. And like millions of books with millions of pages. Like that's how much the law books are of this world. Yeah. Multiversal laws are quite simple actually. Do you know what I'm saying? They're not that complicated.
A multiversal law is the truth of nature, something which holds true from all points and angles, and is not subject to change in time. The multiversal laws are immortal. Absolute truth is the nature of the divine. In Peace Gita, PT states that only a real stairway to heaven is the stairway of facts. A real fact is one which helps get one out of hell and break out of the 3D matrix. Facing facts.
The multiverse always wants you to face facts. Okay, number one. This multiverse always wants you to face the facts. That's the number one thing. Okay, like the sooner you understand that, the easier it's gonna get for you, for any being out there. The best way to evolve spiritually or any which way is to face facts. Okay, and the facing fact about your own body, like it's a fact. It's a multiversal fact. Okay, there are facts in this multiverse. Like there are laws. Multiverse actually has laws which are nothing to do with the laws of, like if you're in Canada or England or America, they have their laws, the man-made laws. But though they don't matter. But the multiversal laws matter. If you break them, that's when you get problems. That's when you get all the problems. Like if the man-made laws are not aligning with the universal laws, those laws have no meaning and they bring you down.
The creation of reality will not go unpunished.
In this construct and creation, how does what you call pain and torture and negativity step in this creation? That is a lot of people ask, why is there suffering in this world? So much suffering in this world. Okay, now the suffering is there because you don't know the laws. And when you don't know the laws, you break the laws. Okay? When you break the laws, you get the effect of breaking those laws. And that effect comes out as suffering. Okay? Which is like in a body, like it can be physical pain or a mental anguish, or emotional, or any plane, any level you can face that. Because you're not following the laws, because you don't know the laws. Okay? Like if you're in America, you know the laws of America, you'll follow that. Okay? And all of that. But those are not so important to follow as it's important to follow the laws of this construct. Okay? People are much more concerned about following the laws of the country they are in, just so that they don't end up in jail, right? That is the maximum fear, right? Okay. But like if you don't follow the laws of this construct, you're going to end up much worse. Jail will seem like a sweet dream as compared to that. Okay. That's what people don't understand, that these laws are much more important to follow. Okay.
PT states that when the multiverse was created in the beginning, all the realms were created simultaneously, except there was no hell, no pain and torture in the beginning. Pain and torture only started later when people broke the laws of the multiverse. Multiverse has laws and beings broke those. That's where the problem started from. There was a time, even on Earth, where no one ever had a disease, no one experienced any pain, even on Earth.
In this creation, there was a time where like everything, every being went as per multiversal law. Okay, every being went as per multiversal law. There was a time. Okay, and then there was no pain, torture, hell. There was nothing like that. It was only pleasure, experience, bliss. These things were there. Then some beings actually went against the multiversal law. Okay, so there were some beings which decided to go against multiversal law and see what happens. Okay, and then they did that experiment, and through that pain, torture, and all of that came into being. Okay, and right now, if you look at this world right now, that's part of that experiment only, basically. You know, where beings have gone against the multiversal laws and that thing, and they are paying the price for it. You know, and that's the situation people find themselves in right now. So they have to actually take the decision to go back or change their course, because there are only two paths you can go by, you know. Okay, so one path is going anti-multiversal laws, and one path is following multiversal laws. There are only two things which any being can do. There's no other path for any being. People say, no, you know, I'm different. My path is different. This is a very common fashion these days. But nobody's path is different. Nobody's different. Okay, first understand this. Okay, there is only two. I mean, there's one multiversal law. You follow it, or you don't follow it. Like, okay, that's all you can do.
Like Brahma is the creator. Okay, creator means he creates this whole universe. Like, okay, it is that entity whose job it is to create, and then it creates the whole, what we see, everything, you know. And after that, different beings are created, like different entities are created, and like human beings also get created at some point in this creation, not in the beginning. Like then the human beings are created, then other beings are created, and after that creation work is done, then these beings start living. In the beginning, there is no sort of problem when the universe starts. Okay, there's no like everything is all hunky-dory, everybody's doing well, everybody's having a great time. There's no problems, there's no disease, there's no that thing, there's no problems of any kind. Okay, no pain, no torture, nothing going on. Okay, it's all running like a perfect machine. Like, okay, and then as time goes on, and then beings don't follow the law. With the laws, there are laws, and beings break them, and they get into trouble, and that's when the thing starts, and that's when this pain starts, and then hell start and all of that, because hell is not there in the beginning. Okay, there's no such realm like hell. Okay, there are 14 realms, but there's no such thing as hell. Like, so which is only created when beings start breaking these laws.
The thing which you have done wrongly mostly is when you have gone against the multiversal laws. Multiverse has its own laws. What is considered wrong in the multiverse terms is going against those laws. In the present, you can learn those laws and not break them anymore, and then you can have a better future. Actions of the now are paramount. PT P.T. states that whatever you have done in the past, like going against the multiversal laws, you can fix in the present. None of us can control the past and change the actions in the past, but we can change the actions in the present. We have to focus in the present actions and make sure that they are aligning with the multiversal laws. Once that happens, then our future is much better. I am a being. I exist inside of a multiverse that has divine laws. P.T. says that beings here do not think of themselves as a being, which exists inside of something. That something or construct is the multiverse. After that, they should naturally realize that this construct they live inside of has laws that need to be followed. P says that people here base their whole life only on the man-made laws and never bother to find out about the multiversal laws.
Two facts. The only two main facts are that you are a being first, that you exist and you are a being. That's the first fact. And the second big fact is that you are inside of something. You can give it a name: multiverse, universe, Brahmand. There are many. You can give it many names. Because finally, you are inside the multiverse. You are inside that big thing. And that's what matters much more than being in any country or village or city or anything. You know. Yeah, so if you are inside something, then what is its basis and what are its laws? That governs everything for you. Because everything which exists has to have a basis. Otherwise it will just collapse. Just like if you see around yourself, the sun and moon, they all go around in actual pretty lawful ways.
They do.
They're following patterns, they're going by very clear motions and everything. So everything which exists has to have a basis. If something didn't have a basis, it will just immediately collapse. It can't hold itself up without any basis. And that basis is what you call laws. So what you're inside of, if you don't bother to find out those laws, I mean, there's nothing which you can do right from that point. No action of yours can be a right action. It's like worse than being completely blind and deaf and mute and everything. A complete absurdity.
It is.
To think that anything good can happen to you without you knowing multiversal laws and then acting by them. They more think in terms of they are in this village or in this town or in this city or in this country. What happens from that is that they end up following the rules and the laws of that town, city, village or country. Because they pay attention to the laws which are the man-made laws, not the universal multiversal laws. Yeah. So unless you know the laws of what you are inside, you will always be in trouble. Just like if you go to a country and you don't know its laws, and if you break them continuously, then you end up in jail. Yeah. You'll end up in jail. You know, the same way. If there are multiversal laws, yeah, and you keep on breaking them because you never bother to find them out, then you'll be in much more bigger trouble. It's got to have a basis. Basis means it has some laws. Basis automatically means laws. You are inside it, and now you have to know its laws. And if you don't come to know about it, you don't want to know what that is you are inside, then you are in trouble because that's but natural. If you come to know that you're a being, you exist. Laws of this thing you are inside of. There's no way for you to attain any kind of happiness, bliss, pleasantness or anything like that. I mean, if you try to do actions without finding out those laws, then it's a very simple thing that you will get in trouble, which is like pain, torture, hell. When you're in embodied state and when you are out of the body, same thing applies.
Yeah.
Because even when you're out of the body, you're still inside that thing. and the same laws, rules keep on applying.
Yes. Yes, we did it. By also violating the natural law. You still think there will be no consequences, Strange? No price to pay. We broke our rules. The bill comes due. Always a reckoning. I will follow this path no longer.
What its basis and what its laws are. If you don't know that, then you're in trouble. It's simple as that. Like, you're in trouble. No, you without knowing the rules of the game, you can't play a game. And anything you will do after that will be useless and pointless and will lead you into trouble.
In multiverse, there are laws. If you follow those laws, you automatically ascend.
Yes.
You don't have to fight them. But if you start fighting the laws, then you don't gain anything. You just torture yourself. Okay, but you cannot go up by torturing yourself.
And the weaker you are, the easier you are to control. I mean, the thing is very clear. Like, if a being does not want to find about multiversal laws, any being, it can be any being, that being will be subject to pain and torture. Because hell is pain and torture. There is nothing else. It's like hell is not a faraway thing which you go to after death. Like, it's pain and torture, and like it happens right now on earth. What you're inside is a very big thing. It's not just a country you're inside. You're not inside a country. You are just standing in a man-made region. People follow the laws of the system and society. So, like if they're in a society where it's legal to kill a cow or animal, they go around killing it. Nothing illegal about it. Yes. For example, if you are like eating meat out here, you go to a supermarket and buy meat and eat it. I mean, obviously, there is no penalty for it. No police is gonna come you and arrest you. Hey, you bought meat from the supermarket, and it was of an animal which was killed in a very painful way, or it was killed in an abattoir in a very bad way, and it was screaming and all of that, right? Yeah, like no harm by this system, like the system of this government or whatever you're living under. No harm will come to you from that. But again, multiversal laws are different. For the same action, the judgment of the multiverse will be very different as per multiversal laws than of these government laws, whose laws are not based on any multiversal law. They are ad hoc, willy-nilly laws, which allow beings to do, like, break the multiverse law every day of their lives without ever putting them in jail for it. Right. In fact, most of the whole system and law is designed in a way where you will go around breaking multiversal laws. Because if you keep on breaking multiversal laws, you will keep on losing strength and power. So, like, that's where, like, the law following is there, but for the system and society, not for the multiverse.
For example, people in England drive on the left, right? That's law of England, right? Like people in Germany will be driving on the right. That's the law there. So different countries have different laws. Like you will not go to Germany and start driving on the left, right? So these are just the man-made rules, which differ from country to country, region to region, people to people, all of these things. Multiversal laws don't do. There's no such thing. They apply the same to all beings in all situations, no matter where they are. Multiversal laws are like, for example, if you disrespect nature, you will lose your senses. That's a multiversal law. And you will, and any being will. It's not like any being will be different. Like that'll apply to everybody. So nobody's special because these laws apply to everybody. And they're much more important than all the laws of this man-made laws. Man-made laws are not important at all.
by comparison. I mean, man-made laws can be as per multiversal laws, but they're not right now. There are a lot of things which you go to jail for right now, and there are a lot of things which you don't. And those things are not decided as per multiversal laws. Right now, for polluting the earth, you don't go to jail for polluting the earth.
Obviously, they think they'll be safe as long as they follow the laws of system and society. Nothing bad is gonna happen to them. They're not gonna go to jail or get some other punishment or anything. Because the way the consequences come for breaking the multiversal laws are not so apparent. You know. It's not like police comes and arrests you immediately or something like that. It doesn't happen like that. But the consequences are there and they come like when you die, like you sing. You have to face that music, you sing, and even in your life, like you sing, there are a lot of things happen to you which the system and society can't help with, you sing, like diseases and things like that. The only thing is that the laws which are there in the society and system right now are not congruent with multiversal laws at all. They have nothing to do with them. So then obviously people are in trouble because they are following those laws. By following those laws, they are breaking all the multiversal laws. And the laws of the society, system and society are very convenient right now. You can do so many stupid things right now.
Yeah.
And they all come under the term legal. You can while up your time. You can speak any which way from your mouth. You can behave any which way, inappropriately. You can kill so many animals and stuff, all you want. There's so many things you can do, which are totally not as per multiversal laws.
Wanda, what do you know about the multiverse?
You break the rules. I do it, I become the enemy.
Multiversal laws are the laws one needs to follow. They increase one's power when one follows them. So to create slaves, they reduce the power of beings by cutting them off from the multiversal laws. If one doesn't follow the multiversal laws, one loses power. But if one follows the multiversal laws, one gets real power and knowledge. Power is an internal thing. P explains that real power is when what your will is, you can manifest. Only when your free will aligns with the divine will, which means you are following the divine multiversal laws, then your power increases.
They have been set in place like that only so that people will lose power. Like if you're not following multiversal laws, you lose power. If you follow multiversal laws, you gain power. That's the only way power happens. So if you have less power, then you'll be a sheeple. So you'll be allowed to be undisciplined. Undisciplined in the sense that you will not be following multiversal laws. Like you're allowed to be undisciplined and bratty and that thing. And exist within the system and work for the system. You'll still have to work for it. You'll still have to work for the system. Without any real power. And power is the actual will thing, like internal thing. Power is not something like, so that then they will stay powerless. Because that way means you don't have any power. Because power only comes from following multiversal laws. Yeah. So without power, you can't that thing. You don't have any say in anything. You don't have any will. You don't have any that thing. Then whatever you will happen. That's power.
That's how it will happen.
Real power is like what you will, you can manifest. You can't manifest anything unless you have power. And the power of manifestation comes from following multiversal laws only.
Yeah.
Because power is will. Like what is called willpower. What is your willpower? And if the will is not aligned with the multiversal will, you don't have any power, like you say. There's no question of. Yeah. Your will have no strength. I mean. Knowledge is power. And the beings who are in charge of this whole plane right now, they don't want the masses to come to know anything. Because that's how they keep their power. So the masses should not come to know anything. Now, people right now will do anything any day. When you don't know the laws, you will do anything any day. You will not have any that thing sense of when to do what, and you'll break the laws unknowingly because you don't know. Yeah. But with multiverse, you can't say that I didn't know, so I broke the laws because I didn't know. Just like in America, you can't just be driving on the left and then tell the cop I didn't know.
You can't do that, can you?
No.
Yeah. Okay. In the same way, but multiverse is much more cops than America is. The power of those laws is much more important. Rules and laws of this world, the man-made laws, which people have made, and which are not important. Like they are not important at all. Like you're saying, whether you follow them or not, that's not going to increase your power. Yeah. If you follow the multiversal laws, your power increases.
And that's what you find most of the beings in this world right now to be in. They are in this problematic situation. Yeah. And then if you don't know the laws and that thing, then you'll be taken for a ride. And that's why you'll be under the whatever systems, unnatural, unjust systems, which people find themselves under right now. Country is a man-made concept.
Yes.
The village is a man-made concept. City is a man-made concept. That's not what you're inside of. Yeah. You are inside of a much bigger construct.
Yes.
But as a whole, you can call it universe, multiverse, anything, omniverse, anything. But you are inside of something. And if you don't know the rules of it, you are in trouble. And none of these governments or anything can save you from this trouble.
There are too many here that think that they are invisible supreme being who will face no consequence for their actions. They are surprised each and every time any consequence comes back at them for their actions, which are, of course, done without any real knowing. A constant state of surprise. How did things go so bad suddenly? The knowledge of consequences is the real knowledge, the real seeing of seers. Very clear multiversal law. Every action has a consequence.
Right now, people are just not ready to understand that actions have consequences. I mean, it's a very simple, childish thing. Their notion they have, okay, I'll do actions, but there'll be no consequences to me. They just think that. So I'll just do that. Okay, I'll drink Gatorade. Okay, I'll put this in my body, but nothing will happen to me. Okay, like it's a very childish, okay, like strange notion, like beings have that I'm going to do this, but there will be no consequences. Okay, but where have you seen that? I mean, if you hit your hand onto the wall, your hand will hurt. Okay, it's not going to hurt. Like I'm saying, like I mean, you will say no, it won't happen to me. Everyone thinks they're special. In that way, everyone thinks that it's not going to happen to me. It might happen to everyone else. But it is not going to happen to me. Okay. yeah. So what I'm saying is, everybody thinks they're special. I mean, that's a big problem in this world because everyone thinks they're special. They think that they're special. They're exempt from the laws of this multiverse. That everybody thinks that they're exempt from the laws of this multiverse. Right now, people are trained and programmed to just think that you have to follow the laws of the government or the system and no other laws apply. They have this mindset. Okay, so everyone follows the laws and rules of whatever country they are in. Okay, that's all. But they think they're totally exempt from the laws of the real laws, which are the real laws of the multiverse. They're totally exempt from them. So I mean, that's the thing, isn't it? Like people think that, okay, if I'm in Canada, I'll drive on the right or left or whatever, or if I'll do this, whatever the laws are out there and that thing, and I'll just do that and I'll be fine, I'll be safe. Okay, and nobody, and the government will not tell you that you are breaking the multiversal laws or the natural laws. Okay, they're not going to tell you that. Okay, your school is not going to tell you that. Your teachers are not going to tell you that. No one is going to tell you about it. Okay, so that's the main thing. So people think, okay, like I'm special. These laws don't apply to me. Okay, so everybody has this sense of special. Okay,
that every being has to follow multiversal laws. Okay, nobody is different in that. There is one thing which makes everybody the same. Okay, that everybody is subject to multiversal laws and they apply to everybody. It doesn't matter who you are, who you might think you are. Like you can think I'm different. No, this doesn't apply to me because I'm different.
Like none of them even comes up to this point that like beings have to first acknowledge that they are a being first and they're inside something and their actions would have consequences. Like if you come to the point that your actions have consequences, means there are some laws. Because consequences cannot happen without some law being present. You can say between action and consequence, there's an arrow, and that arrow, the term which is written on top of that is law.
Law.
Yeah, and that is the universal multiversal law, not man-made law. which is people are just made whimsically to serve their own purposes. News is that the multiversal laws apply to everyone. Isn't it? Like, once you do the actions, you'll face the consequences. Nobody likes the consequences. Even all these beings out here, when they get the consequences, they're all crying and screaming. There's no one here who doesn't cry and scream when the consequences come. Knowing the man-made laws or whatever you learned at school is not knowing at all anyways, because it's got nothing to do with multiversal laws. They have to have a wanting to know these laws. For that, they have to actually admit to the fact that they are inside something. They have to admit to the fact they are actually a being. And actions have consequences. They are inside something. All these things have to be established first before one can even talk about what multiversal laws are.
Where the Vedic knowledge comes in. It tells you those laws starting from your body itself. Like, you have a physical body now, so how are you going to deal with it? What are you going to do with it? How are you going to use it? Okay? So that thing is the very first thing. And like, if you are misusing the body, for example, in any which way, shape or form, what is the effect of that? How do you come to know about that in this world? How do you come to know about that? Through disease. Dis-ease. Lack of ease. You don't have ease. Okay? Lack of ease. Okay? So this is a nature telling you that you are going in the wrong direction. Now, if you take some kind of pills and like hit at the symptom, which is what the allopathic medicine system is, and just try to reduce the pain, are you actually doing yourself any good? Like, are you actually going to the core root of the problem, which caused the disease in the first place? Are you actually curing that from that level? You're not. Okay? So whenever anything happens, you have to go to the actual core root level of it, the condition of it, where we have to cure it from. So that will be the real solution to that problem.
One has to be respectful to higher and divine. Being respectful to higher and divine is a very important multiversal law. PT declares that there are higher beings and lower beings. The definition of a higher being is quite simple. A being is higher than oneself if the being is more connected to the divine than one is. If one doesn't know how to behave properly with a higher being, one has no chance to evolve higher. For evolving, you will have to be respectful to higher and divine.
I'll give you a law. Like, law is this, like you're saying. If you come across a being which is more evolved than you, you immediately praise it, bow to it. That was the Vedic law. You immediately praise it and you bow to it. That's the Vedic law. If you broke that law, then you were always in trouble. Like, if a rishi comes in front of you, you have to immediately praise and bow. Otherwise, it will not be good for you. You can't go higher. That's a multiversal law. It's a Vedic law. It's nothing which Westerners know about, and they don't practice it. They don't even practice it. Yeah, it's a law which is known from the Vedic antiquity itself. What is the behavior required between any beings? Beings are here. We are inside something. We are inside this multiverse. We are inside this Brahmand. You can call it anything, and there are beings. How do we behave with each other? What do we do? Like, how do I behave with myself? How do I behave with others? Like you're saying, all that is as per the multiversal law, which was based on higher and lower. I mean, in Vedic things, there are higher beings and there are lower beings. There are more powerful beings and there are less powerful beings. You can put it any which way. But the Westerners in the West, they didn't want people to evolve, so they took out the whole higher and lower. Everybody's equal. They brought out nonsense like everybody's equal, which is not. Everybody's not equal in the West even. Like, that's why they're giving gold medal to somebody and bronze medal to somebody. Some people are so rich and some people are so poor in the West even. Like, there are all kinds of classes and castes in the West as well. Yeah, but they don't talk about it. But they would like to give the illusion to the masses that everybody's equal, when nothing works like that. Actually, in reality, nobody's equal, and that's a fact. But they want to give this delusion, an illusion, so that people don't know how to behave with each other. And they'll behave in a wrong manner. And in that way, when they behave in a wrong manner, they will actually bring bad karma onto themselves, and they'll go lower. And the lower your status, the more of a slave you will be to the system.
So the whole point is to create slaves. And what do you have to do to create slaves is reduce their power. And how do you reduce their power? By cutting them off from multiversal laws. Like the whole point of manners is a very important one in Vedic. Okay, so that is very important law, the multiverse, that one has to be respectful to higher and divine. Right now, for example, man-made laws do not punish anyone. If somebody is not respectful to higher and divine, the police will not come to you and take you to jail, right? Okay, nothing like that will happen. Okay, so man-made laws are very different from multiversal laws. You can be disrespectful here, nothing will happen. But for multiversal law, you will be in trouble. Okay, so people are very confused because man-made laws are not in harmony with multiversal laws right now. So people only follow man-made laws right now, and they have no interest in the multiversal laws. That's why humanity is in the problem it is. Because man-made laws are not in alignment with the multiversal laws. And being respectful to higher and divine is a very big law, very important law. Laws are like, for example, if any being goes against the higher or disrespects the thing, they will face a consequence of that. That's as per the multiversal law. You know, like right now, if a rishi is there right now in any forest, you can go disrespect them. Okay, you will not get any jail for it. You will not get any consequence right now here. There'll be nothing which will happen to you right now by the rules of this government or the country or anything like that. There's no law here which will do anything to you. But there's a multiversal law which will do something to you. There'll be effects which you'll face in all of your future. Once you do that, you'll create a huge big negative karma for yourself just there and then, which will not give you anything right now. Like you will think that you've gotten away scot-free.
No being can own another being. Piti says that there are all kinds of different notions in people's head. One of these wrong notions is ownership of other people. The reality in this multiverse is that no being can own another being. That is the multiversal truth and fact. That is also called a pure principle. Pure principles have to do with the structure of the multiverse with truth. Truth is in the laws of nature and divine, which are pure scientifically principles, not subject to change in time. Peace Gita is where one can learn about the multiversal laws or the pure principles. First, a very simple law I'll start with is that everybody, which we call people here, is a being, okay? And no being can own another being, okay? That's a basic law of multiverse, okay? No being can own another being. And every person here is, people have named like Tom or Caesar or Maria or Consuela or whatever. Like you can have different names, but that's not you. You are a being, and this is your name in this current life. You've taken this character, okay? But that's not what you are. You are a being in essence, and no being can own another being, okay? Like that's a pure principle. Now, if it was applied in today's world, okay, this pure principle, then there'll be a lot of problems will finish, when people will stop trying to, parents trying to own children, children trying to own parents, wife trying to own husband, husband trying to own wife, or all these kind of problems which we have on this world are because people don't follow this pure principle. So that's just one example of a pure principle. But the reality in this multiverse is that no being can own another being. Okay, so that's the multiversal truth fact. Okay, like that there is no being can own another being. Okay, so as long as you keep on struggling with that notion of ownership, whether in all these relationships, which is what is happening most of the time in this people and the world and stuff like that, you can see it all around you. Okay, and and the point is that most of the people's energies and time and stuff goes in trying to own another. So and then they think that's love. Okay, now that is equated with the word love too. Okay, now, so it's not love, it's just possessiveness, cling-onness, like you're clinging on or something like that. But it's
termed as love. It comes under that word love. So then the word love gets tainted and it doesn't stay evoluting anymore, and there's no evolving in that love. Okay. It's just ownership, like possessiveness, and these kind of things which happen. And that you can see in all the things around.
What happens when things go really bad on Earth? Does divine intervene?
And when things get very, very bad and stuff like that, then different times, different entities have to come in. Like that's where Shiv and Vishnu come in and sort of take care of the matters, either create destruction or teach the laws when the laws are not known, or something so in some way they come and intervene. Okay. So that was called avatars, like Krishna, Ram, all of these are interventions. So there is name for interventions.
Gratitude to Pitsi, the divine avatar, for revealing the true Vedic knowledge of the divine multiversal laws.